with the new setting of God of War that's rumored to be coming. So, let me just put it down here so you guys can see. So, the next God of War game is reportedly centered around Egyptian mythology. Have you guys heard anything about this? Because it's a lot of talks going around, and I'm going to show you guys. I mean, this article pretty much has everything, but then there's like other stuff that like kind of backs up this theory. The next God of War game can make its way to Egypt, according to a report from Daniel RPK, which is paywalled. Sony is casting for a Middle Eastern actor for this new game. So, Sony is casting a Middle Eastern actor for an unknown AAA game, which is likely to be the next God of War that explores Egyptian mythology, the report says. It's important to note that this information hasn't been confirmed or independently verified by Inside Gaming. Until that happens, please take this with a grain of salt. But, like I said, it's a lot of evidence kind of supporting that it could be true. Moving to Egyptian mythology wouldn't be surprising. Should it happen, the God of War saga began in Greek mythology before shifting to the Norse for the modern games. Moving to a new pantheon would make sense for the next era of the franchise. As far as Egyptian specifically, it has been mentioned in the past that Sony Santa Monica originally considered centering the game around Egyptian mythology for the 2018 revival before settling on Norse. Now, I do want to say, I really do like the Norse setting. Like, I think they did a really good job, you know, creating the settings. The map is like huge. I think they did a really good job. So if it was getting moved to another setting, I'm sure they would do just fine. I think the first patch I gave was that we wouldn't even know what was happening, creative director Corey Barlog said. So it was Kratos walking through the desert because we were in mind still doing Egypt initially, wind, sand blowing all over the place, and he's kind of crawling through and then kind of stands up over a dune and checks out this really fast and fantastic ancient city. It's so weird, like reading something in somebody else's voice. A lot of people are referring to this video that they did that was like behind the scenes of like how they made Kratos, basically. So I have the part up, and this is what they're talking about.
And that definitely gives people pause. I think the remainder, or the rest of the studio, the rest of the team, we had really worked together, this core group of like 11 people, to find the best sort of version of what we were talking about. Initially, it wasn't even gonna be his kid. Like, I think the first pitch I gave was that we wouldn't even know what was happening. So it was like Kratos walking through the desert, because we were, in my mind, still doing Egypt initially. Wind, sand blowing all over the place as he's kind of crawling through, and then kind of stands up and crests over a dune and checks out this really fantastic, like this ancient city, and then he kind of turns around and then says, "All right, follow me," and then we kind of reveal that there's a kid there.
We have a long journey ahead.
Oh, I love Kratos.
I think it was very little. It just at least got the spark, and then that was the, oh, wait, you know, we should do this. We should try this. We should do this.
It's crazy. They have all that like concept art like already there. Atreus looks different.
On some of it, but the sun thing, like not at first. Definitely not at first. Just mainly because, like, from my perspective, it's like I'm trying to think of like combat.
So yeah, so they definitely had this in mind already. I don't know. I think the Kratos Egypt concept, like, I definitely think it's an option. Like, I don't think that it's something that they're gonna like forget about. Egyptian mythology is your favorite. Yeah, honestly, I really like the Norse, you know, story behind that, because I grew up reading like Greek mythology a lot, but I am really interested to hear more mythology. But you know, you do eventually have to like take it somewhere else. So whether they decide to make like another game from, you know, the Norse saga, I think like you're eventually gonna run out of gods to like kill. You're eventually gonna run out of gods to beat up in the game or in that, you know, saga. I'm kind of in the middle if they're gonna do another Norse saga. The only way I think that they would do another Norse saga is if they bring like an Atreus spinoff. Because if you guys don't know, if you play God of War Ragnarok, Atreus leaves at the end of the game. A lot of people are speculating that he's gonna have his own spinoff. He's not gonna be a part of it anymore. Or if Kratos has like another game, he won't be like a main character like what he used to be in the previous games. And they don't want to, you know, continue to do the same thing over and over. I think I also heard that they didn't want to make like a trilogy out of God of War. So I really think they're going to like do something else. I don't know. I'm just so curious because if you guys don't know, like Kratos, God of War Ragnarok, it's like my favorite game. One of my favorite games. I would say it's like number 2 next to Red Dead Redemption 2. Like, I wonder if they're gonna put out like this Atreus game and then they're gonna like circle it back around to like have him come back to Kratos. I don't know, because a lot of people hated Atreus, but also like a lot of people liked Atreus. So I don't know. I mean, I definitely think like they're gonna do something, like I said. But what would you guys think if it was to come to Egypt? Would you guys like it? I think either way it'll be a great game, because even just from like what we just seen with this little clip right here, like the graphics look so good, and this wasn't even in an actual game. I'm assuming this is just like concept art or like concept gameplay. I think either way, like I said, I love Kratos and I love the game. I think I'd like it either way.